I did share out the question of the week.
Facebook. Oh, I did not.
Well, I mean, I put it on our Technorama thing.
It was months ago.
Well, I actually had it scheduled because I was thinking next week would be our show, but then, well, it just doesn't matter. It's all right.
Oh, YouTube just told me Technorama podcast is live.
All right.
What are we gonna do about that? Let's share. First, change to me. I think they got this straightened out. Share. Public. Done. There we go. Now we'll take this down here. Got a couple of viewers. Scott Tyler's online.
Look at there. Happy New Year, Scott Tyler. There's an ointment to help.
And
Ointment.
episode 696. Yeah, I told you we wouldn't get to 700 before the end of the year.
Almost, but we had to take some time off. If we hadn't, there's a good chance we would have been there.
Well, if we didn't take any time off, we'd be on show 1200. We're just not that dedicated anymore.
If we don't take vacations, think how productive we'll be.
That's a work balance to me.
Yeah, that's right.
And Sweet Steve is here. It's not 4 a.m. It's 10 p.m.
It's not 4 a.m.
11 p.m. It's crazy time.
I gotta tell you, coming back from Italy, I've had a little trouble trying to get my balance back.
Yes, going west is tough.
Yeah, getting out there wasn't a problem. Well, I'll talk about it a little bit on the show, but yeah, coming back, it's a little rough. Actually, what's funny is Harrison's he stays up really late, like early, however you look at it, like 3 a.m, and he'll get up around noon or so. And what's funny is when we came back, it threw him all off. It's like he's up at 9 o'clock.
Back to normal hours.
That's like, wow, we should have done that years ago.
I have to retrain to be a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready? Well, we're already broadcasting.
All right. Yeah.
Mike Robinson says, still trying to take over the world?
Slowly. One podcast at a time.
Okay. Then let me got the show notes up here. Here we go. Recording in 3, 2, 1. Technorama episode 696. Technorama New Year's party on the 4th?
Well.
Happy New Year, Craig.
Happy New Year, Chuck.
And Happy New Year, listener. Welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're, it's 2023. Happy New Year to you. Your New Year's resolution of listening to Technorama finally came true.
Just keep it up for the rest of the year.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Tougher than exercising or quitting smoking or dieting. It's listening to this podcast for a whole year.
Hopefully it's a little easier than those things, but yeah, sure. That's right.
And if you're returning, welcome back. You made it through your 2022 resolution. You can give up now. No, thank you. Thank you very much. And I see we have people on Facebook, and we should podcast this time of day all the time. We're getting some better audience.
I know, right? Wow.
What's this Sunday night business?
Guess we're not competing with football or something like that.
The Academy Awards, whatever it is. Yeah, Sunday night is a terrible time. I'm Chuck Tabasi from Phoenix, Arizona, and that guy right there is Craig Stepp.
Hey there, how you doing?
It is
Happy New Year.
It's officially a Service Now holiday, which is why we're doing this at a weird time of day.
Yeah, we haven't podcasted since last year.
Yeah, very funny. You get all those people at work a couple of weeks ago. See you next year.
Yeah, I'm that person.
Funny when I dropped my kids off at daycare.
That's
right. See you next year, kids. Oh wait,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's been. I'm that guy. That's right.
So we have a question of the week. Let's jump into that first.
Okay.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
Oh boy. But wait for
it. Mailman, mail today. reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
There's the animated GIF. Oh boy, and ding dong.
That's right.
We asked you last time we were on the air, what is the smallest hill you're willing to die on? Craig put that out on social media. We got a few responses back.
Yeah.
Weber Baker says, bunkers?
Okay.
I'm assuming he doesn't mean all in the family like Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker. Yeah. I don't know. Brad Miller, our buddy Brad Miller, says buying stuff from a grocery store that is already well past expiry date. If I let them get away with it, I feel like I'm ripping a lot of people off. I'll drive back for a refund.
These beans expired in 1978.
These beans
They're
expired last
dry
year.
beans. They don't go anywhere.
They expired last year, like in December of 2022.
Yeah, these are now last year's beans.
That's right.
It's not like a car where you get a discount because it's last year's model.
Right.
Steve London says, this was a new expression for me, but I think I got the meaning of it. I'm a rather liberal mind, and I tend not to care and let you do. Let you do you. But when you try to meddle with me or mine, then you are in for a treat. And with me or mine, I'm referring to people I care about, family, friend, coworker, or a stranger. I will go to the fence for them.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I will too. I've done that.
Stands up for his friends. Good.
His peep.
Good.
Yeah. So what hill will you die on? What small hill will you die on, Chuck?
It would have to be something that cuts to my core values or virtues. Just family is a good one. Steve brought up the I'm a pretty easygoing person, and most of the time I go, yeah, is that really important in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, when you've stared cancer in the face and won,
well, yeah,
like it puts a whole lot of other things in perspective to go, that's just not all that important in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well, I've told lots of people my little mantra that I've had for quite a while, and that's I'm in the business of making friends. And even though I've had some that kind of maybe are a little more aggravating, I'm still loyal to them regardless, unless they really do something wrong, out of to wrong me. But so that's probably one of the biggest hills I'll die on, is trying to be a friend to people.
Right.
But to be honest
Unlike
with you,
Scott Tyler, he just gave us 2 new nicknames, Old Boy and Ding Dong.
okay, he's out. He's out now. That's right. Although it was funny when this question came up, I was thinking of more lighthearted stuff, not such same thing so heavy, but that's one that cuts to my core. Like this is one I thought of today, was returning the shopping cart to the thing.
Yes.
I'm not going, people just leave them in the parking lot and stuff. I'm taking that shopping cart and putting it back in the line, in the queue to go back in the store.
I'll even grab a couple extras on the way if I'm headed that way. Yeah, it's like, why not? The other one that I do out of just call it a quirk, call it just doing a random act of kindness to the next person, is when you're in like the airport bathroom. The countertop is always wet.
Oh God, yes.
I always wipe it down. I take like 7 napkins and wipe that baby, because too many times I've leaned forward.
Yeah.
And my pants get wet.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, miss your mark there, buddy.
I will not let that happen again. So
yes.
Yeah, they always get wiped out. It's like, your mother doesn't work here.
Okay. You know what? Now that you mention it, I would probably.
It's a poor design. Your hands are wet and you have to drip wet hands to reach the towels.
Yeah.
So I always take the towels first and stick it under my arm or my elbow or something while I'm washing my hands, and then it's right there.
I was in was it Atlanta airport, and theirs was interesting. You put your hands as like there's a shelf.
If there are towels.
Well, no, there's a shelf, and under the shelf, like you could put a drink or something on top of it, but under it is where the faucet's at.
Right.
So you put your hands on there, and then all you do is move over a little bit, and there's an air dryer.
Yes, there are some that have like the dryer
So
in
you
the
don't have to go
basement.
walk around, you know. Although I prefer towels, but anyway. So there you go.
Your pants leg works fine just in an emergency.
Well, I got to get it dry enough before I start using my pants legs. But yes, at least I try to. But
You get this big wet hand mark on your ass.
yeah, that's what I'll start. Smacking myself. Now, but I haven't dried the counter. But now that you mention it, I actually might, because that does suck, especially when you get the front of your pants wet.
Well, it takes an extra, 15 seconds. It's not like you're late for anything at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Thank you, everybody who responded to that. We'll have another question for you at the end of the show.
Another letter from our listener, Dave.
Moving along. On this day in history for January 4th, 2023, this is the fourth day of the year, the Gregorian calendar. Do the math. It's 361 days left in 2023. It was on this date in 1854 that the McDonald Islands were discovered. They didn't sell Big Macs and quarter pounders with cheese out there. Okay. They were discovered by Captain William McDonald aboard the Semarang.
That's one of those boats that you sling around and it comes back to you.
Mr. President come up with a snack called the Semarang.
It's like at an Australian zoo. Hey, would you like a samarang? Sure, I'll take one. Also on January 4th, 1903, Topsy, an elephant, was electrocuted by owners of Luna Park, Coney Island. The Edison Film Company recorded the film electrocuting an elephant of Topsy's death. I don't like that story.
This is that whole Westinghouse versus Edison thing, AC current versus DC current.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
That was the famed elephant that got electrocuted. Like, AC current is dangerous. Watch what it does to this elephant. That's why the Edison Film Company recorded it. Yeah.
I don't like any part of that story.
It was different times back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was also on this date in 1958 that Sputnik 1, the first artificial Earth satellite launched by the Soviet Union in 1957, fell to Earth from orbit.
Who caught it? The Earth, the ground. All right. So on January 4th, 1959, Luna 1, not to be confused with the Luna Park at Coney Island, became the
Looney
first.
Park?
Yeah, Looney Park. Became the first spacecraft to reach the vicinity of the moon.
It's roughly in the vicinity of the moon, right?
Yeah, yes. It's over here somewhere.
In that general direction.
Yeah.
Also, January 4th, 1975 was when the 12-bit field that had been used by the TOPS 10 operating system overflowed. There were numerous problems and crashes related to this bug, while an alternative format was developed.
Sounded like you needed a mop to clean that up.
Shave and a haircut, 12 bits.
Yeah, that's right. Also, today in 2004, Spirit, a NASA Mars rover, landed successfully on Mars at 4:35 UTC.
And on January 4th, 2010, the Burj Khalifa, the current tallest building in the world, officially opened in Dubai. Brad Miller said there was a great episode of Bob's Burgers on Topsy. Ooh,
oh, really?
I don't want anything to do with elephants and burgers in the same episode.
I can see where that's going.
Happy birthday goes out on this day to English mathematician and physicist Sir Isaac Newton. He was born on this date in 1643.
I was told I was related to him, but anyway, born January 4th, 1838, American circus performer General Tom Thumb.
Carl Humann, I'm saying it like the Ferengi, I guess, because it's Humann. Humann, the German archaeologist, architect, and engineer, was born on the same date in 1839.
An American engineer and businessman co-founded the Grumman Aeronautical Engineering Company, Leroy Grumman. He was born 128 years ago today.
He'd be 80 in Hex today.
Yes.
American actress, director, producer, and screenwriter Diane Cannon was born on this date in 1937.
And also born on that same date in 1940, Welsh physicist and academic, Nobel Prize laureate Brian Josephson. Josephson. There you go.
He was Welsh. Good luck with that.
I know. That's what I was just thinking.
Also turning 78 is American chemist and academic Nobel Prize laureate Richard R. Schrock.
And also, last but not least, born on that same date in 1959, American-Canadian actor Matt Frewer, excuse me.
Frewer.
He is
Max
Max
Headroom.
Headroom.
It's,
Yeah,
it's his birthday today.
yeah, Max Headroom.
Steve London said the apple fell very far from the tree. When you said you're related to Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah, we're still testing the gravity out. I want to see how far it goes out.
Do you realize the gravity of that statement, sir?
Wah, wah.
All right, listener birthdays this week include January 3rd, Thomas Gideon from the Command Line podcast, Steve Therian, one of our patrons, on the 6th, Elvis Presley on January 8th.
What?
We're not sure why it's in here, but he has an exclamation. It's Elvis exclamation.
He put it in himself.
That's right. Thank you very much. And Lingo from the Britain Yankee Pubcast. Don't know if he's still on the Britain Yankee. I know he's still in that area. Is on the 9th. The game show Lingo is making a comeback. Only it's not the same rules as before. They basically just abducted Wordle. So, yeah, they're making a game show out of Wordle, if you can believe that.
No, I totally... Yes, it sounds plausible.
That's the way it was on this day in history for January 4th, 2023. If you want to be on the birthday calendar, you can go over to chuckchat.com/birthday. Lower thirds, please.
Oh, yeah.
And we will give you a shout out at the... He's out of practice. It's a whole new year. Got to go through remedial training.
Keyboard shortcuts. Okay.
chuckchat.com/birthday. Get your name on there. We'll give you a shout out the appropriate time of year. And if it's your birthday this week and we didn't give you a shout out, we wish you all the best. Happy birthday to you. How much time is left on this song? We're at the end. Play it out.
6 hours.
Yeah. This is the 12-hour sleep mode version.
Yeah.
There it is. Smoke them if you got them.
Down. There you go.
All right, into the news. I don't know.
News, crybaby.
Hey,
Yeah,
by
we-
the way, I do
Yes.
have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Another small hill I'll die on. Speakerphones are not for the general public. Use them in a small space by yourself.
You mean like watching a movie on your phone?
No,
And
how
you
about
rattle
people? No, we're walking. I'm walking in public, and somebody's walking around, talking on their speakerphone rather than putting it up to their head.
Craig, you did the animation wrong. They don't talk into the speaker, and they talk into like the camera. I've seen a lot of people like talking to the camera, going.
I've seen people do both of them. I've seen people do it like that. I'm like, what are you doing? Or hold, wherever they hold. I don't care. Speakerphones are not for.
Get some earbuds or hold the darn thing up to your ear.
I know.
We don't need your conversation.
I know. All right, let's continue.
Just somebody's talking like that on the phone. You go, get down on the ground now. let their listener panic for a moment.
I know.
What's going on there? Okay, we're gonna play. Thank you for some nice Christmas presents.
Yay!
So my first one is a unique present from Brad Miller. He came over yesterday. Excuse me, swallowed
Right.
wrong a minute ago, and gave us this interesting piece of plastic. Can you see what it says, Craig?
Yeah, it says tech. Well, I looked at the Thingiverse thing.
Turn it this way. Oh, you did look at the Thingiverse link. You turn it 45 degrees. It says Technorama. You turn it the other 45 degrees. It says Chuck and Craig.
What? That is awesome.
Isn't that fun?
That is cool.
Technorama, Chuck and Craig.
Oh, man.
And it glows in the dark. I tested it.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yes. So he printed this with glow in the dark ink or 3D filament.
Well, when I looked at the Thingiverse, I thought, well, it looks interesting. The letters look kind of jumbled, and I could figure it out. And oh yeah, I can see it now. It's cool. That is awesome.
That's pretty slick.
I need to print that out.
Now you have an excuse to get a 3D printer.
I know. That's probably what I should do.
I think you just sold him, Brad.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad. My wife appreciates it.
What happened to our 2022 bonus?
Yeah. Nothing.
Hey, we didn't get that one this year.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Whole economy downturn. Where'd the 3D printer come from? Santa?
I found it on the side of the road. And
I earned enough points on Amazon to get a free one.
a free one. They were handing out free ones. That's right.
on the side of the road.
Yeah. Now that is pretty cool though. I wonder if did he design that himself?
I believe the design, if you have the same number of letters in both words, you can do that. The design, he'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And none of the letters match up. That would be tough to do if you had like a C and a C. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so that was fun. What else you got?
Well, our buddy Clinton sent us some isolinear chips.
Are you
There you
are yours the same color?
go.
Mine, look like you got orange.
I got an orange one and a highlighter yellow one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got like that greenish yellow and a pink.
Yeah. See, it looks
Cool.
red from here. On
We're
the camera.
wondering what's not working on the Enterprise right now.
Yeah, that's right. It's like here, I'm gonna unplug it.
He
Oh,
pulled out holodeck program Data 1 and Riker Omega 3 and the
Riker
defense
Omega 3.
shields for the Federation on Earth. It was great.
Yay!
What could
Collect-
possibly go wrong?
Collect all of them.
This one's got, it says Leah Brom, heart.
Leah Bromhart. Oh, this must be Jordy's collection. No, these are cool.
I think that one needs to be washed.
Yeah. This is pretty cool. I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna have them sit on my desk. Usually, I got some stuff you can kind of see behind me as I get oriented here. I got stuff back there, but I'm actually gonna keep these on my desk. Kind of sit them on my computer.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
I need like a shelf in the background for some of this cool stuff now.
Well, I just do like I got. I got a bookshelf and I got all that stuff up
I'm
there.
standing up. My bookshelf it'd have to have like a really tall bookshelf. Because if I had a bookshelf like yours, 4 feet high, it would come to about the bottom of that.
You put a shelf on that wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the green screen will be all wonky.
Actually, what you need is a couple of shelves, maybe like behind you, and reorient the pictures.
Something like that. I also got a handful of colored watch bands. There was a sale on 20mm watch bands on Amazon.
Oh, cool.
So there was like fluorescent green, orange, blue, gray, several of them. I went, well, I was just looking for the fluorescent green so I could have something that, match my outfit at work.
Yeah.
And that worked out.
I got for my watch, I also got usually keep a few around, like a couple of silicone type. So when I go exercise and stuff, they're easy to wash off. But I have like I keep a leather one. And I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, a Velcro one or something stretchy, so it's comfortable. You just kind of I rotate them out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Obviously don't go exercising with the leather one, but yeah, the other ones I kind of rotate out. No.
Wet and nasty.
No. So I can, well, mine watch, I can rinse them off in the water under a sink, and clean off, but swap out the bands. Yeah. So it's nice to have a few sitting around.
Oh, hey, potential spam is calling. Should we answer?
Yes, let's do.
Okay.
No. Are you going to?
Hello.
Chuck.
This is Chuck.
Chuck, my name is Carolyn. I'm calling you from Las Vegas. How's your day going today?
All right. How about you?
It's okay. Thanks for asking. So you're a member of Hilton, Marriott, and Wyndham. We have an awesome promotion, Chuck. Do you see yourself coming back out to Las Vegas in the next couple of years?
No, I don't think so. I gotta go. Thanks. Bye. We'll be in Vegas for our conference, but
I started to say, give it a month or two or a few months.
She can't hear you, Craig, so you could say anything you wanted.
Yeah, that's right.
That wasn't as entertaining as I was hoping.
Yeah,
it was either that or an extended car warranty.
I was gonna say we have some good news for your extended car warranty.
Back to the Christmas list.
Vegas,
I got some other stuff that was color coordinated for work. I got another green shirt, a slim fit this time, and some shoes that are perfectly matched to our corporate colors. They're mostly that dark teal with the bright green accents.
Wait a minute. Besides the ones that you had before,
those were just the bright green Chucks.
Right.
These
so
have all three primary Service Now colors.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to my boss. I said, "No, Marcelo, these are not Seattle Seahawks shoes."
That's right. Yeah, I haven't converted. That's funny. That's
because
cool.
he's a big Seahawks fan, and he thinks
Right.
that our corporate colors are just naturally for that. So the shoes, the watch, the shirt, I'm good for now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't really get much at anything because
Then
basically
I'll
the big
keep
thing.
going.
Well, the big thing we did was our trip. We went to Italy.
Yes.
So my son was doing a study abroad, at which started right after Thanksgiving. So he was in the UK. He went to Lacoste, France, and then he went to Rome, Italy. And my wife and I flew out to Rome and basically met him in Florence. So we stayed in Florence for about a week and saw the sights around there. Florence is fantastic. We did a food tour as soon as we got there, which is our kind of our thing. We'll go do a food tour, and then you get the idea of where some things are at, where some good places to eat are at, and so we did that. Then we went to the Leaning Tower, saw Pisa,
Mhm.
which was cool. I mean, we were able to go up in it. I didn't know they were allowing people back in it, but they were. So we went all the way to the top. Um, which I got a picture from the inside because the inside's it's kind of funny because it's a hollow tube. This is the tower. Um, but what I thought was interesting was going up the stairs because they're
Mhm.
obviously circular. When you're going up the stairs, it felt like one side was
Level.
harder,
Yeah.
huh?
Well, it is. One side is harder because it's
Yeah,
leaning.
yeah, no. So you're going one side, and then when you get on the high side, it feels easier and for a minute, and then it gets leans again. But the view from up there is fantastic.
It's like when you're walking on a cruise ship and it's rocking forward to back. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
steps, fast steps, slow
yeah.
steps, fast steps.
Of course. The church that's right beside it, there's so much art that's older than anything you can think of. I mean, it's like thousands of years old. Uh, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of cool spots. We went to the Uffizi, the museum,
Mhm.
on the other side of the Arno from where we were at. Um, ate a ton of food, drank a bunch of wine. It was a really good trip. Oh, and then of course when we went back to Rome, we took a it was an e-bike tour, night tour. So we did the bike tour and we had a guide and he was telling us he would stop, we get some interesting shots or views of certain things. So we saw a lot of the spots and of course we're riding our bikes, we turn the corner and I look up. I'm like, "Whoa, there's the Vatican right in front of us." It's like I wasn't even expecting that.
Yeah,
Which it
we kinda had the same thing. It's like driving the bus. Hey, there's the Colosseum.
Yeah, there it is in the road. The Vatican was beautiful at night. They got it lit up very well, and they had um a nativity scene and a nice, beautiful tree out front. And we did take the tour the next day on Christmas Eve in the Vatican, which was nice. The Sistine Chapel was mind blowing to see because I've only seen it in pictures.
Mhm,
I don't, have you been there?
mhm.
Um, Okay. Yeah, it's kinda mind blowing to see once you see it in person, but the rest of it was kinda like another museum tour,
Yeah.
and it was good, and then but after you've seen 800 statues, you know, you've kinda seen them all, but there's a lot of history in there, and,
Was your tour guide explaining what everything was on the way?
oh, yeah, 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 of course he was, yes.
Okay.
So he actually did a really good job. He thought the Sistine Chapel was closed, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It was Christmas Eve, and anyway, we walked our way past it, and it's like, "There it is, it's open." So he, uh, he wasn't aware of that. Anyway, so that was a nice, surprise. Um, and then, of course, we flew home, so, wasn't it was a great trip. I'm really glad we went. I felt a little weird being away from home over Christmas holiday, but at first, about going there, but I
Mhm.
had no reservation because once we were there and enjoying ourselves and got to spend the time with my family, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a pretty dang holy place.
Yes, well the whole trip there was enough to see. It's fantastic. Oh, we even took a cooking class. Where we made pizzas. Uh,
Yep.
that was fun. So yeah, there's a lot more to that, but the pizza was fantastic. The wine was also
What
good
was
there.
on your pizza? I was trying to determine that from the picture.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to remember if I think I put sausage, and I had those little yellow tomatoes. I'm trying
Okay.
to remember. It was something like that. Well, they had several things you could put on there. Um, so I may have put some prosciutto on there. I like prosciutto. But yeah, it was cool. It's great. Though you should say, I have to send you a picture of the view from what we were looking at, not the pizza, but out in the garden.
Yeah.
That's a $1 million view right there. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good time.
it was a good time. Yep.
I did discover that my old watch charger doesn't work with my new watch. The watch that you gave me when we were at Dragon Con.
Mhm.
I thought it did for a while, but then it really wasn't made for that one. So that was I forgot what my old one was, the Galaxy something to something watch, and now I've got the Galaxy 4.
Yeah.
Not compatible chargers. So I gave my old watch to Lisa. So I said, "Here, have my extra charger," and then I ordered
Oh,
a
that's
couple.
right. You had the stand-up charger. That's right.
Yeah. So now I got the 2 little hockey pucks that sit there. So I've got 3. One that you gave me, one that sits in the office, and the one that'll ride along in my laptop
Mhm.
bag for when I travel, which is perfect. They were only like $12 for the 2 of them, so that was easy.
Yeah.
I got a new sleep mask because about 2 days before Christmas, the little USB charger cable that I plug in every day, it's just a wire. Well, it
Yeah.
decided to become disconnected.
Wonderful. That's what.
So
Oh, speaking of that,
yeah,
um, I bought a travel pillow before we left because
yeah.
I've never had one really, and so I bought one. It came with a sleep mask, just a regular face mask,
Mhm.
and earplugs. Which I didn't use the earplugs, but when we were in our apartment in Florence, there was like this foyer right outside, and which is inside the building, so it goes up and you can see the sky. That kind of, what do we call that? I'm not sure exactly what the word, but it's like a, not a foyer, I'm sorry, but like a
An
courtyard.
atrium?
Yeah, I was like a courtyard. You can see the
Okay,
sky up
yeah,
above, but the buildings, wrapped around it.
yeah.
Well, the people that were right above us were sleeping. Well, all the beds were small, so all three, my wife and I and Harrison, were all in different beds. I kept hearing them walking all night. I'm like, what are they doing? Dance class or something up there? And they would turn on the light, and the light would shine down inside in that atrium
Yeah,
area. And I woke up. I'm like, what is the light
grab
on?
the
And
sleep mask.
yeah, so I put on that sleep mask. Man, that worked perfect. That was.
Yep.
I am so glad I had that. I went and rummaged around in the dark. I got it and went, oh, that's how it work. Threw it on there.
International flights often have those too. The
Yes, I did get one. They gave us one
yeah.
when we flew
This
both
one's a
ways.
little nicer than those because 'cause it's got padding around the eyes,
Mhm.
so your eyelashes actually don't touch the
Yeah, these are
thing,
cupped.
and
Yeah, these are cupped. Yeah.
yeah,
So
and it
yeah,
seals much better down by the nose, so you don't get the light leaking in.
yeah.
And the reason they charge up is because 'cause they're Bluetooth, and I listen to the music all night. Keeps the people who are blasting fireworks on New Year's Eve out of my stress zone.
Not my dogs. Man, my dogs can't handle that.
I got a new OS update for the Remarkable. They upgraded to version 3.0. The most
Mhm.
notable thing on there is a couple new
Well,
gestures, like
well,
double
hey, wait
tap.
a minute.
Yeah,
If somebody
yeah.
doesn't know what the remarkable is, what is
It's an
that?
e-ink tablet for taking notes.
Mhm.
So, there's a Remarkable, there's books, there's the Kindle Scribe, there's the, Supernote, there's a whole bunch of them now. This one's been out for, like, 3 years. I bought it, or no, maybe it's 2. I
Yeah,
bought it just over 2 years ago when they were still in special allocation, almost
beta.
Kickstarter mode. Yeah, and because I bought it at that time, I got their subscription package for life,
Mhm.
so I never have to pay for Connect. They did upgrade their OS, and now we have virtual page size, so if you're writing and you get to the bottom and go, I don't wanna turn the page and make a new page," you can just, like, do a half swipe up and you get another half a page, so you can do
Okay.
really, really long pages now, and some to the right and left too, so it's kinda nice. It's not unlimited page size, but it's bigger, better, less
Right.
making a new page when you don't need to. So that's the biggest one. I don't know about you, but I got some, salted licorice from Sweet Steve in Sweden.
Was the other thing I was going to bring it up. Actually, I got it right here. I haven't opened it yet.
It's pretty darn good.
Is it?
If you're not a licorice person, I encourage you to try it. It's not as full of anise flavor as American licorice, and it is
Okay.
salted, so you're gonna pick up on that saltiness. So it's very, very mild and very pleasant, I thought.
Hmm. You know what's funny is I showed Kim. I said, "Look what I got," and I was explaining it to her, and she laughed because
What
one of
did
these
it
murder.
look like when you first opened it up? What
Well,
did you think it
oh,
was?
hang on a sec. So she laughed because this murder mystery show that she watches, and
Yeah.
it's based in England. Uh, the detective was trying to give some of the other officers some licorice. Here, you want some liquor? Like little dots, of them,
Yep.
of it. And they were like, no. She was like, they refused. She's like, I love these things, but okay, we'll save them for later. So that's what she was thinking about when I brought this. So I'm gonna have to share this. I'm gonna try this a little bit with Harrison, and see what he thinks about it. But
What did you think that tube was when you opened it up, when you first looked at it?
well, I wasn't sure, to be honest with you. It took me a minute till I read his letter. And went, oh, okay. Um, I don't
It
know.
looks
What you
like
think it
something
was?
that it looks like black tar. It looks like something you would
It
seal
does.
a crack on a boat with or something.
Actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like one of those tire repair kits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. He just put in the chat, "I did not send the gnarly stuff."
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So I'm looking forward to trying this with Harrison. Yeah, that was a nice surprise, and I do appreciate that. You sending that over, even though the envelope, I think, went through customs a couple times and looked a little rough, but either
Oh,
way.
the other thing I got for the Remarkable is a new case.
Oh, look at there.
Because number 1, the marker or the stylus attaches magnetically to the side.
Yeah.
Only when I put it in my laptop bag, it keeps getting knocked off. I said, "I need something with a pocket on it." So this one has a nice little pocket on the back
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so that I can put that in there. And secondarily, it also pivots on that little
Oh,
spindle that you see in the back. So if you want to set it up, much like,
like a
a lot of
stand.
other things, you can set it up as a little stand, make a
Oh,
little
that's nice.
table. Yeah, kinda a few different variations that I can use it for.
Yeah.
And it
I
it
know.
it slips into the plastic part on the top. So instead of magnetically sitting in the case, it's clipped into the plastic, like,
Yeah.
housing.
So I've got the books, AirNote Plus, and the people are complaining in the reviews I saw that the magnet doesn't hold very well because it has a curved edge and
I
everything.
saw
I'm like,
that. If you
and they're
shake it
like,
a little bit, it
they're
falls off.
shaking. I'm like, who's shaking that? Why
Well,
would you shake it like
if
that?
you put it on the table a little too forcefully, it'll knock it off. I mean, just it
Well,
doesn't.
yeah, but I don't sit there and shake it around like there. But here's the thing I do like about, kind of to your point, even though it's kind of loose. This has
Yeah,
a little flap that comes around, so it doesn't come off in the
there you
the
go.
yeah.
That's a nice folio.
Yeah, so this works pretty good. I've been happy with this, like you've been happy with yours.
Yep.
Um, I wrote down some goals and stuff that I was planning on for this year, and wrote down, just sat there in silence and sat there and wrote it down rather than put it on paper. Like it a lot.
What else did I get? Some new Star Trek accessories.
Uh
My
oh.
the comm badge that I had on my white uniform at DragonCon, the
Hmm.
perspiration caused it to corrode and actually make a rust stain on the white uniform.
Really?
Dry cleaners were able to get that out. I had already tried a dozen internet home
They
remedies,
were?
failed. Yeah, they got that out. So the jacket was saved, and I went and got a pin version of that one. And the magnetic pips, I lost 2 of the 4 at DragonCon also.
You
So
were.
I got
That's right.
it's
We were joking about
demoted,
you being demoted.
demoted. So I got the pins with the backing on those as well.
Okay.
And I started a little bit of a discussion because on the cruise group on Facebook, I said, "Hey,
Hmm.
in my opinion, I like the pin ones better, and this is what happened and why." Started this whole thread for like 2 days, people going back and forth. Well, if you get the rare earth neodymium magnets, you can. I'm not going to retrofit somebody else's project with
Right.
magnets that I might
Right.
be able to find. Like, just give me something that works.
Oh, well, what was funny is I saw your post, but I was like,
Yeah,
I was reading, I was like, this sounds just like what Chuck said. I went, oh, it is posted by Chuck.
amazing how I heard that. I read that in Chuck's voice.
I know. I was like, what? I said, this sounds exactly the way he described it. Oh, posted by Chuck Tomasi. Oh, okay.
We got a
That's
lot
funny.
of cookies and treats from our neighbors in the cul-de-sac. It
Oh,
was
boy.
ridiculous this year. Good stuff. I just can't eat that much sweets at one time. I
I
just
know. You have to
spent
spread
all of
it out.
October and half of November dropping a few pounds. Like, I don't know. No, no,
Ugh.
no, 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 no.
My mom makes these oatmeal cookies on the holidays. She's done it for
Yep.
since time began. I love those things, and when she gives us a 10 of them, I'm like, I got to spread them out as best I can.
Right,
You know,
share them, and then when they go stale, I'll use them to dunk in my tea or something.
yeah, you just nuke it for a couple seconds, and then it'll loosen back up. Anyway, no, but yeah, those things are fantastic.
I got an audiobook from Mad Marv.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was nice. He sent me an email and said, "Here, this audiobook is available for you on audible.com." So thank you for that. It knows that I'm a listener more so than a reader. It's called He Who Fights with Monsters. So it starts out where this guy wakes up naked in the middle of a field and he's basically in a game. He's got a character sheet. He's got no inventory. And then he gets attacked by this rabid hamster.
Oh boy, yeah,
That's
that's
the
funny.
first monster he's got to kill. So
Right.
it's a very long book, and I'm making my way through. Like when I run out of podcasts, I'll go listen to a couple chapters of that. I have to be careful because if I listen at night, my mind will start to want. You get tired, and it's like,
Yeah.
where did I leave off? And I will have to go
Hmm.
listen to a whole chapter again. And now the chapters are only 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes long. But it's like, which one did I leave off on? Go back about 2 or 3. Oh yeah, I heard this. I heard this. Oh, this is new.
Right.
So you got to be careful when I do that at bedtime.
Oh yeah.
Another nice thing, last week for Christmas Day, we spent the day with Scott and Ann Tyler,
Okay.
and Ann has a sewing machine, and Donna, I was telling Donna, some of them, I've recently discovered that I love slim fit shirts.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been getting the right size, the right length sleeve, the right length collar,
Yeah.
but regulars look like a circus tent on me. And I said, "If I can find slim fits, that's
Yeah.
great, but I can't always find them in the colors I want and whatnot." So she said, "I think you can adjust a regular to become a slim if you put in tucks in the back. You'd basically take 2 little seams and fold them in."
Hmm.
So they did 12 shirts for me that afternoon.
12.
12 shirts.
Well,
A
there
lot
are
of
little elastic bands in the back. Is that
No,
kind
it's
of
not an
thing?
elastic band. You basically, like you measure a few inches from each shoulder in,
Uh-huh.
and then you start like almost this, like football shape,
Kind of like a pleat.
like a pleat, only it's sewn shut on the
Yeah.
outside,
Right.
on the inside. So all you see are these 2 lines
Hey, uh,
partway down the
uh,
back.
great minds think alike.
Pleats. Yes.
That's right.
Scott says, "Check out his own sweatshop going on at Christmas."
That's right. That's right. That's the Christmas spirit there.
Well, we were going to we had a test shirt. I had a white shirt that wasn't so white anymore. I said, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work
A
out.
test shirt.
And if
Yeah.
that worked, we would move on to the green one that I wore to Knowledge last year. I love the shirt, but it was too big. You look at some of those keynote pictures and it was like, "Holy crap."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that worked. And Donna said, "Well, just bring them all." I said, "Well, I can't go over, to a friend's house
Yeah.
for Christmas dinner and dump a dozen shirts on."
Merry Christmas. Where's your sewing machine?
But we're happy to do that. We had them over yesterday,
Mhm.
and returned the favor. We had some steaks and potatoes and whatnot. It was fine. So it was. Thank you very much for doing that.
Oh, man.
But here's the bill. But
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I also got 2 $50 gift certificates to our company store, which I haven't figured
Oh,
out what I'm going to get yet, because I think everything in the company store I either already have, or it's like, I don't need another coffee mug, thanks.
yeah.
So I'm hoping they get some good stuff and those don't expire. So
Yeah.
that's a nice gift, and it's
Well, and I don't know about you, but my wife and I, we don't exchange gifts that much because
right
we kind of buy what we want anyway.
when you
So
need it.
when I need it, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of weird. This year, I really didn't get much anything, which is
I was
fine.
feeling really guilty.
Well, I tell you what, you got my address. You can send some stuff over if you want.
What do
I'll
you say
take
we
it.
thank our patrons for another year
Yeah, let's do that. By
of
the way, if
thanks?
you haven't noticed, by the way, this
This
isn't a
is not
normal
our normal.
show. We're just talking and hanging out. It's a New Year's party. That's why I'd call it New Year's party, even though it's coming out on the 4th. But
May the 4th be with you.
that's right. Well,
There.
yeah. There you go. I was looking for like the 2020 glasses I had. I have had some.
The 2000 glasses that
Yeah,
people
2000.
just keep modifying now.
Yeah, I think I had a little green derby from St. Patrick's Day. I'll wear that. I get that.
Go get the Santa hat. We just took down Christmas today too.
Mm,
Tree is put away, everything. Thank you to our patrons. Let's play the patron music. That'll be fun. So thank you to everybody who has supported this show in the last year and beyond. And we look forward to your support going forward. Alexis Duran and Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Avner Braverman. Thank you, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC. Thank you, Dandy Man Coyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros from Jacksonville, John Clifford, John Noble, Yorga Shrawen, Crazy Joe Adventures, Kyle Nishioka, Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Brad Miller, Mr. 3D printer himself. Although
yes.
now that I look at it again, he spelled Technorama backwards.
I think you're backwards.
Mike Wills, Paul Mackey, thank you, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Therian, Steve Cody, Steve London, and Tim Cook. We thank you greatly for that. And if you want to be a patron, lower thirds, please, you can go to patreon.com/Technorama podcast for as little as $1 a show. You can support this show as well. And we appreciate that. It pays
Yes.
for the bills and the bandwidth, and our storage keeps
Our-
going up because we keep sticking podcasts out there.
Our mortgage, our beer
No.
fund. No. Oh,
The streaming software, StreamYard is in there. Auphonic, which we use for the audio quality and processing of this show. Patreon.com/Technorama podcast. Thank you very much. All right, Craig. I think we
Yes.
mentioned Top Gun Maverick on the last episode.
Did we? I couldn't remember. I didn't feel like going back and looking at it.
Maybe it did. Anyway, what have you been watching?
Well, you don't have your list in here, so I'm just going to kind of.
I have my list on another screen. I just didn't type it in at the last minute.
I also couldn't remember if I've mentioned Black Adam on here. I saw Black Adam.
Yep.
Netflix. It's on HBO Max. That's wrong. HBO Max. It's on HBO Max now. I saw that. And you know what? It was okay. You know, it wasn't great. It was kind of in that a little bit in the vein of the Snyderverse. A little bit. It's like the tail end of it. Things are kind of changing from some of the Zack Snyder DC things. It didn't 100% land with me. I liked some of it.
Okay.
The Rock, I like Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, that's about it. And the little Superman cameo at the end. That's about the two things I liked about the whole film.
Sure.
Can we just
Okay.
keep going?
No, I got one.
Okay.
I did a rewatch of National Lampoon's Vacation because it was expiring December 31st on Netflix.
Okay.
Saw that come up and said, I got to watch it one more time. That is a classic. There are so many quotable lines out of that. And John Candy, I forgot there was nudity in that movie.
Oh, brief. Yes, there is a little bit.
There's some brief boobies in there.
Yeah.
Apparently I was watching the TV version for all these years.
So that's the part where you see Netflix sees Chuck pausing it. You know, most part of the moment.
No. But there were some fun facts about that too, you know, where they filmed at the park, how many times they had to ride the roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. The what was the no, I can't remember the trivia that caught my eye. And I went, oh, it was like they had to ride the roller coaster so many times that the video footage of them being nauseous is real.
Oh, okay.
Makes
sense.
Anthony Michael Hall grew 3 inches while they were filming.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he was in that.
He was going through puberty, and he's like he sprung up that summer.
That's funny.
There was
at the end of the film, he's got a mustache, you know, a little teenager mustache going on.
Thanks for the beer, Dad.
That's right.
All right, what's next on your list?
Well, besides the classics, you know, of course, we watched Christmas Vacation and stuff like that. Last night, I watched White Noise on Netflix, or at least I tried to. It did not land for me at all. I couldn't even finish it. It had a decent rating on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, but I just didn't care for it. It's about a family who is so they have a routine, everything's going kind of sort of smooth, and then there's a train wreck, and the train wreck there's a nauseous or toxic gas gets released into the atmosphere, and
Okay.
everybody has to evacuate, and it upends their lives, and their whole it kind of keeps going. I'm like, how is this even related? Some of the things that they were talking about, how is this even related to what happened? I
Yeah.
don't get it. I don't understand it. So I'm passing on that one. I didn't even finish it.
I watched a very sad story on Netflix called The Bombardment. It's a true story based on a true story from World War II
Hmm.
about an English bomber mission over to Denmark because the Germans were occupying this building. Trying to remember what the name of the building was, but it had a specific name. And the Gestapo was in there, and they were using some of the local, not rebels. What do they call them? The freedom fighters, the
Yeah.
resistance, the resistance.
Okay.
They were using
Hmm.
some of the resistance, the captured resistance people, as human shields. So they put them on the top story of this building, and the English knew about this, and they said, "We're going to bomb anyway." That wasn't the sad part. The sad part is they sent 3 groups over, like 6 or 7 B-17s, and 2 go this way and 1 goes that way, and they were all supposed to converge, and bomb the crap out of this building.
Right.
Well, 2 of them got lost in the smoke, and they bombed this school of, like, kids with nuns and stuff in it. And I was like, "Oh, man, that was rough to watch,"
I
because
bet
they
so.
it was yeah, if you're in for a tearjerker or you're a real hardcore historian, go watch The Bombardment on
Okay.
Netflix.
Oh wow.
Your next one.
Um, well, I was just going to mention I started watching Avatar again, the original one, because I want to see the second one.
I have
And
little to no interest in seeing the second one.
really,
It just feels like a money grab. I wasn't that invested in
oh,
the whole, the universe. It was like it was visually fun, it was a nice movie, uh,
I don't think
but
it's a money grab because he's been working on it for like 10 years or
well,
whatever.
I know that.
It's an effort. I don't think it's like, hey, let's throw
I
together.
worked on Pinocchio for
Yeah.
15 too. I'd rather see that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm watching it again, and I'm kind of enjoying it more than I remembered. So I'm looking forward to seeing Avatar 2 when it
Alright, let
comes
me know
out.
how it is. I'm the stodgy old man going, "Yeah."
Well, I do know that uh, there's a part in the movie where things really pick up, but there's a lot of building at first. And anyway, and I think the plan is that each one deals with a certain part, facet um, uh, of the what do you call them?
Pandora
The
Planet?
Navi, yeah, Pandora. And like the second movie has to deal with water, and it's kind of makes you think about water, conversation, or oceans, that kind of stuff.
Let me know when they get to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's right.
We'll put on the afro and dance around, right?
That's right. So I'll kind of gloss over that only because I think everybody's probably seen Avatar by now, but
Okay.
I'm seeing that. But something we just finished, you and I, Star Trek Prodigy. That was a nice
Yes.
ending. That was a very
That was a
uh,
long season relative to what you're used to these days. Most
well,
series and seasons
it
are
was
8
the almost the
episodes, 10
entire year
episodes.
because they split it up.
Yeah, yeah. It was 20 episodes. Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. From a kid's standpoint, that's a long time to hold a kid's attention. And it wasn't. It was a story arc, so it
Hmm.
wasn't. People think, oh, it's Nickelodeon, it's for kids. Like, nah, no, it was for everybody.
Yeah,
But I'm wondering how many kids actually stuck it out and watched it.
I don't
So,
know. But, well,
but it was really well done. Don't get me wrong.
speaking
That
of
was
kids, you mean
it was
Clinton did? We stuck it out.
the kids have heart.
But it was a very surprising show because,
Sure.
as they kept stating, it's for younger people, and that was great. So we were going to watch it anyway. But when we watched it, it was like it's a little more complex than I thought, and it was a nice surprise, and the ending turned out very well. So
I did a binge of all 5 Daniel Craig, um, 007 movies, James Bond
oh
double oh
yeah,
007 movies, because there were so many little intricacies. If you watch them independently, especially when they're like 6 years from the last movie, you tend to forget some of these things. Like, "Oh, that lady is the same lady as I got it now." So Started out with Casino, then went to Quantum, and
Mhm.
had to rent Skyfall. It was like, 'cause I'm
Oh,
sorry, not Skyfall, Spectre.
yeah.
Spectre wasn't on anything for free that I subscribed to, so rented that and then came back and watched, No Time to Die, which
I like his James Bond run.
it was interesting watching him go from, this unknown who really didn't even I was inspired because I watched on Amazon Prime, the music of James Bond, and they took you through the whole story, and I'm watching these bits and pieces going, "Alright, I'm gonna have to watch some of this again. I don't have time to watch everything, and I don't even know where you can get everything," but I know Netflix had, like, 4 out of 5 of them, so
I know Hulu had a bunch of them at one time. I don't know what
it was fun.
they
It was fun.
rotate out. Um, so speaking of Daniel Craig, you jarred my mind. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. Glass Onion, a Knives Out story.
How was
Uh,
that?
I enjoyed that a lot. I thought it was really good, very well done. Of course, they got almost A-lister actors in there in the movie, but yes, it was well done because they lead you down the story. Then there is another direction in that story, and it ends up somewhere where you didn't think it was going to go. I really enjoyed it. I hesitate to take it to the love level, but I certainly think it was worth watching. Definitely, it's really good.
Okay. I
And
see
Daniel
that
Craig
come up on
is
my
awesome.
recommended list, and I'm just not ready to pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch the first one again. I forgot. Uh, Scott Tyler was saying he loved Glass Onion. Yeah, like I said, it was close. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Okay.
Um, he says he didn't care for the first one, but I'm gonna go back and watch the first one. So yes, you may enjoy that, Chuck.
Good sci-fi movie, but you won't know it from the beginning is 1899.
Right.
This is it looks like kind of a Titanic-looking story.
Hmm.
What you may not realize, especially if you have the captions turned on, is that pretty much everybody's speaking a different language. So, I recommend
Really,
having the captions turned on, and you
in the
might even
universal
want
translator.
it dubbed over. Yeah, I turned on the English dubbing and the English titles, because there's one guy speaking Portuguese, there's one guy is a lady speaking, Cantonese there, so, uh, it was very interesting from a creation standpoint. I'm not going to ruin it, but this ship finds itself in this interesting situation, and it finds a ship that's been missing for 4 months going, "Hey, what happened here?" And as they dig in, they're like, not here. Everything here is as it seems."
Hmm.
There's just strange coincidences and people saying, "Well, wait a minute. Why who are you and how did you get here?" I'm hoping they bring it back for a second season because they left it in a place where it could be
So,
extended.
got some bad
And if
news
you're
for you.
watching that, watch
Mhm.
Making 1899 after, because they
Okay.
go into the whole technology scene of how they made this and how they dealt with the languages, but even more fun is the fact that, they did some stuff on set and they did some stuff, on location, and the stuff that's on set, they use the ginormous LED, screen on the
The
back.
volume.
The volume, yes, they
Yeah.
use
Hmm.
the volume, and in some places you can go, "Alright, the ocean is rough, but nothing is moving on the ship." So they didn't have any gimbals or anything.
Right.
Like, "This isn't quite right here,"
Yeah.
uh,
We
but
forgot the people to push the boat. Oh my god.
the
About
lighting is good. The
yeah.
actors said they loved this. It's better than looking at a green screen and staring at a
Oh, of
tennis
course.
ball to imagine,
Yeah.
that they could actually be immersed in that environment that they were given.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was very 1899, at first I thought it was like another one of these Yosemite prequels. That's not it.
oh, by the way, I have some bad news for you.
Yes?
It came out today that they canceled it.
They canceled what?
1899.
It was the only that one season and then it's done?
Yeah, that's it.
Scott Tyler was saying he didn't care for the Witcher prequel. He said the acting was
I haven't gotten there yet. I was actually going to watch 1899, and then today, well, I'm still watching it, but they came out and said that Netflix had canceled it after one season. So
I did watch one stinker. I think I might have mentioned this on the last show too.
we've got a
Uh,
stinker. What?
Troll. Did I
Oh
mention that one yet?
no, I don't think so.
You can skip Troll. It was
Okay.
it was so full of like origin story tropes, it was ridiculous. The idea is, it's not about little trolls, it's about huge trolls that, like, live in the mountain and mine and come back to life.
Right.
I believe it takes place in Sweden, but forgive me. There's a lot of legend stuff in here. You've got your crazy old man, you've got your scientist daughter, you've got the government who doesn't want to help or won't believe anything. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, and despite weapons not working, they keep shooting at this thing. It's basically made of rock.
Okay.
You've got the rich old guy. I mean, there's so many things that are like, yeah, no, this is terrible.
That's funny. All right. Well,
Norway. Troll was a tad bit sad. I agree. Don't bother, says
all right.
Steve. This is from the guy who lives in the Nordics. He's not endorsing it.
Yeah, I agree. Don't bother. All right.
Norway. Sorry, I got my countries mixed up.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I did mention this before, but I did watch Top Gun Maverick, and it was a lot better than I expected. To
It
be
was
honest with
better
you.
than I expected to.
Yeah.
My impression was it felt like a money grab as well, but it
Well,
was.
yeah, not knowing anything about the movie, you go, "Oh, here we go, another money grab." No, it wasn't, and I thought it was a good wrap up to a lot of things, and the tension was right.
I thought
For the movie.
the whole complication, what do you want to call it? The plot point
Hmm.
of this country that they didn't mention is refining uranium in this facility inside
Yeah.
of this crater, and we have to bomb it. Like, that felt a little weak.
Well, they were refining uranium with outside of
Yeah, outside of
the yeah,
every country's agreement.
right.
Like, yeah.
Well, they actually, if you watch the first movie, they don't identify the country that they're fighting either, and I think that's by design. But and you know what's funny is there's if you go look for the Legal Eagle YouTube channel,
Mhm.
the guy Devin does a review of the legality of the things that they're doing in the original Top Gun movie, and it is rather humorous because he's like, "Oh, that would be treason right there, treason." He's talking about the legality of the things that they're doing.
Yep.
He even had uh, a Marine attorney for the, I forget what that technical name is, but and he knew more about the maritime and the wartime laws, and he's like, "Oh, these guys would be up for treason and the death penalty for sure," kind of thing. It's ridiculous. But anyway, there's that. And of course, to round this off, I did watch the Fireplace 4K Crackling Birchwood on Netflix. I watched it for a little while.
12 hours?
Now, I didn't watch the whole 12 hours, but I did watch it for a little bit.
Lisa did. I kept glancing over into the guest house going, "Oh, we're down to embers."
Down to embers. That's
Hey,
pretty
you
funny.
left your fireplace running.
That's right. Your TV's going to burn up.
I watched one more called Munich: The Edge of War, which is also based on another true story from World War II. Was it World War One? No, it was World War II. It was
Okay.
World War II. About these friends that met at Oxford in 1932. They had a bit of a falling out, and then 1938, right before Germany invades Czechoslovakia to claim the Sudetenland, they got back in touch, kind of passing secrets back and forth. So that one I enjoyed. It was interesting from the risk standpoint, taking people out of their comfort zones, and showing how the war destroyed more than just the soldiers who got shot on the field. There were
Hmm.
people that were, you want to talk about bad work-life balance. You take somebody who works in like the prime minister's office and say,
Yeah.
no, you can't take a vacation with your family right now, or you can't go home right now.
Right.
And the family starts falling apart because they have to do their duty. And that was collateral damage from the war, or the pre-war in this case.
Hmm.
So uh, it was an interesting insight to Chamberlain, the prime minister, before um, uh, not W.C. Fields,
What? I wasn't
prime
expecting you to say
minister
that.
during the war. The British Prime Minister. I'm drawing a complete blank right now.
Oh, you mean Churchill?
Churchill, yes,
Oh,
Winston
okay.
Churchill. I had the W right. That's about as far as I
Right.
got. So, yeah, he was right before Churchill, and he was more about preserving the peace. He said, "I don't wanna drag this country into another war." So he was trying to settle it out, but he had a backup plan to make to ensure that if Hitler went back on his word, he had, like, a signed document that said, "If he goes back on this, I got a document that says this is we're not going to do this." And then he does, of course.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Okay, we cannot trust him." And I was trying to remember what the timeline was on when uh, Hitler made the invasion and when Chamberlain died. It was like a year after they signed these papers.
Mhm.
Chamberlain was kind of voted out. Churchill comes in, and then within a month, Chamberlain was dead.
Right.
So it wasn't long. I knew it was close in there.
Right.
So
Hmm.
that was yeah. Munich, the edge of war. Interesting. All right, we have gone on for pretty darn
Yeah.
long, over an hour
Yeah. We need
of
to wrap up.
Christmas stuff. We do need to wrap up. Thank you everybody for putting up with this unusual format show. Those who joined us on the live stream, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You can join us normally Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Go over to our Facebook page or YouTube. We're on both. Look for Technorama Podcast. You'll find us there. And we leave you
And,
with a question of the week.
and also, I do want to thank everybody for sticking with us last year and
Yes.
the 18 years prior to now. So thank you. And we'll continue to put out quality, excellent podcasting
To the
somewhere
best of
else.
our ability. That's
Somewhere else.
all.
But this show will do the best we can.
Yeah, save my real talent for work.
That's right.
This is an experiment. This is the sandbox for which we base everything else.
The sandbox. That's right.
This is the
All right.
sandbox that we plug the USB stick into before we put it on the network.
Right.
All right, our question of the week. Before we leave you with this one for next week. What are you hopeful for in the new year? Movies, TV, technology, you name
Anything.
it.
Yeah. Anything.
Tell us what you're hopeful for. I hope
To
you just
continue not
survive.
being canceled on our podcast.
I hope the show gets some real talent.
That's right.
And with that, I'm going to find the right fader and find the right music, and we are ready to do our closer. There it is. All right. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can reach us anytime
Uh-oh.
on the listener line.
We love the new
Living
start
news.
time. Keep it. Ah!
We'll just cancel all our work meetings at 2 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. Not a problem.
Why not?
I can swing that. I'm
Yeah.
in charge. Till we get to the conference time. Call us on the listener line 707-530-2428. Craig's getting that lower third ready for me again.
Yes, I am.
707-530-chat, or you can email us technorama@chuckchat.com. We'd love to hear from you. We got a voicemail. We didn't play it because it was 14 seconds of just
We'll get it
static.
next week. Oh,
A
I was gonna say,
machine called us, and it says unable to transcribe this because there was nothing really to transcribe. It
yeah.
wasn't even modem quality.
Right.
Till next time, tell a friend about Technorama, and Craig's going to give us a binary high five, and we're out of here.
All right. Happy New Year 101.
Audio recording has stopped.
There we go.
We have successfully made another podcast. Episode 696 has been recorded. We will get that processed and out by Wednesday, January 4th. So anybody who's interested in listening to the final non-edited version,
Right.
I'll
Yeah,
do
on
it another
Wednesday.
time,
That's right.
unless something goes horrifically wrong, which
Yeah.
it hasn't in a while, knock on wood.
Oh, here we go. Jinxing us the first of the year.
Nah, we're good. We're good because we have patrons that support us.
That's right.
And with that, we're going to sign off on the video, go record our Patreon show, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks, everybody.
right.
Happy New Year.
Bye, y'all. Bye.